As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
All right, it's another special day today, the 30th day of January 2025. And today we are going to be discussing something very fundamental, something that you need to know about, and it's called the impact of artificial intelligence on audit quality and efficiency. But Tosi, because today is a double dose of everything, that is why Tosi and I are here. And we also have two different guests in the studio today. But I want to say thank you very much for being a part of ICAN On Air today. It's great to have you here. And I hope that all of those things that you listed to do in the year 2025, you have achieved some of them because it's the last Thursday in January already. My name is Fumi Olani, and I have in the studio my very own Tosi. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Fumi. Greetings to all our professional colleagues and our participants here today. Today, Thursday, 30th January 2025. We are here also with another unique and special episode. Like Fumi rightly introduced, today we are also having and hosting the chairman of the 19th Western Zonal Conference. And that's why I'm dressed this way to show to you that we are part of the planning committee of that conference. So even as you are learning the impact of artificial intelligence on audit quality and efficiency, you're also going to be hearing from the chairman of the 19th Western Zonal Conference, all about ICAN-ngr 2025. So don't go away. We are going to give you back-to-back regarding today's episode. Fumi, I'm just Yakimumi, FCA.
Yes, and I saw Mrs. Taibat Malomo, FCA, in the studio earlier. I say upswan to us. Thank you for doing the remarkable thing that you're doing for the 19th Western Zonal Accountants Conference. We'll be very happy to have you here so we can talk through what the event is about. Some people that have not registered, how can they register? What are the interesting things that they need to take home during the conference? I see a lot of publicity going out there, the technical sessions, everything about the program. But right now, we would like to go on a break, and when we come back, we're bringing in our first guest, Mrs. Taibat Malomo, FCA, into the studio. But we'll be right back after the break.
TA 080-3353-7458. Accounting profession is evolving, and it's no longer just about crunching numbers, but about driving business growth and creating value. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria presents a 19th Western Zonal Accountants Conference with the theme Accounting Profession Beyond Numbers, Innovate to Elevate Professional Excellence. This conference is set to hold from 5th to 8th of February 2025 at Lagos Airport Hotel Limited and Balmoral Convention Center, Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. For physical delegates, conference fee for members is 50,000 naira, for non-members 60,000 naira, and young accountants 30,000 naira. For virtual delegates, the fee for members is 30,000 naira, non-members 35,000 naira. The conference will feature a variety of seasoned speakers, keynote sessions, interesting side attractions, and many more. Please note that registration is strictly online, so to register, visit icanwesternzonalevent.org.ng. For more information, please contact The Zonal Chairman, Honorable Idowu Otetubi, FCA 080-3353-7458. Conference Chairman, Mrs. Taibat Malomo, FCA 081-820-77411. Conference Director, Mrs. Abioye Balogun, FCA 081-222-43777. Conference Secretary, Mrs. Florence Akinshola, FCA 0803-3044-574. And Conference Accountant, Mr. Olamide Balogun, FCA 080-233-96162. Announcer, Mr. Olugbenga Sholarin, FCA, Conference Publicity Chairman for 19th Western Zonal Accountants Publicity Committee.
Okay.
All right, you are welcome back to the studio. And like we told you, we are going to be having a double guest in the studio today, where we are going to be looking at the impact of artificial intelligence on audit quality and efficiency. And at the same time, we are also going to be looking at the forthcoming Western Zonal Accountants Conference, tagged ICAN 2025. Fumi, over to you.
All right. I'm so delighted to invite one of our own, the Queen Mothers of the Institute, Mrs. Taibat Malomo, FCA, into the studio. You're welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, it's good to see you. And we see the awesome things that you're doing to bring together everyone around the Southwest and even people everywhere across the world. So great job done, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically, Tosin, because we are also, Tosin and I are part of the planning committee, but she wears the cap of the leader, and we just want to rub minds with you on what the theme of the conference is about. Can you run us through the plan?
Yeah, thank you, my uncles, Fumi and Tosin. I'm glad to be here, and compliments of the season to all our viewers. Yes, there's something happening in town, and that precisely February 5th to 8th, 2025 at Lagos Airport Hotel and Bamura Convention Center, Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja. And what is that? That's the 19th Western Zonal Accountants Conference, being hosted by Ikeja and District Society in partnership with Lagos State Public Service Chapter, tagged Alausa Chapter. There are a lot of goodies awaiting our members. Even non-members are also welcome at that program. Let me bring something significant about this Western Zonal Accountant Conference, the 19th edition. I've not heard in the history of Western Zonal Accountant Conference that we have raffle tickets being drawn, and we have two giant prizes, awaiting our members and non-members alike for the gala night, and that is international travel ticket for a couple and a 300 square land parcel at Ketu Epe. We are going to have two fantastic winners on that gala night, and I know that our people cannot afford to miss that. And apart from that, we have a lot of seasoned speakers, chairmen of session, to speak to our members and non-members alike that day. One of them is the keynote speaker, our very own Dr. Rabi Olowo, of the Executive Secretary of Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria. Is coming to talk on the keynote, which is an accounting profession beyond numbers, innovate to elevate professional excellence. You all agree with me that there are a lot of dynamism in the society and in the economy generally now. So our people need to think out of the box, and that is where you have that innovation. You continue to innovate, in your profession, so that at any point in time, you have to be an excellent person at it. And that is why we are bringing a lot of eggs both our members and non-members alike. And one of our non-members that will be speaking to us during one of the technical session is the Managing Director of Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. That's Mrs. Olubumi Kuku. She's an Amazon, and I know she's ready for us to take one of our sessions that has to do with a business transformation. You know, she's doing a lot of work at Federal Airport Authority since she assumed that duty, and we've been thrilled, you know, with her achievements in that sector of our economy. And we called on her, we beckoned on her to come on board, share her experiences with us, and I know she's getting ready for us. Another non-member that I want our delegates to look out for is one Mr. Kola Owolujuni. That's the Executive Director of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, and he is the investment officer for that organization, and he's going to be one of the discussants in the area of what we have opportunities that our members should see in artificial intelligence and the rest like that. Another speaker that we should also watch out, which is also a non-member, is Dr. Muda Yusuf. We all know that Dr. Muda Yusuf is a sought-after economist that is always, let me just say in quotes now, on government's neck, you know, to examine what they have and criticize, you know, positively, anyway, to bring out the gaps that we have under taxation policy. And we all know what our brother Taiwo Yedele is doing right now concerning tax reform. So we are bringing Dr. Muda Yusuf on board to look at sustainability in the area of taxation and how we can forge ahead in that area. Another area that is in stock for our members is also they should look out for is one of our past presidents that is chairing one of our sessions, you know, and Mr. Olufemi Awoyemi, MNI FCA, is also moderating one of the sessions for us. There are a lot of goodies for this annual account, the 19th Western Zonal Accountants Conference, tagged ICAN-ngr 2025. Members are welcome to Lagos Airport Hotel. That is where we'll be welcoming the 68th Diamond President, Chief Davidson C.S. Alaribe.
Okay.
And then we'll also have village meeting at Lagos Airport Hotel. But the technical sessions and the gala night will be holding at Balmora Convention Center, that's at Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja.
Great.
A lot of security apparatus and measures have been put in place to safeguard our delegates, you know, and we are working day and night to have a H-free conference come February 5th to 8th, 2025.
Wow, that's a great one. That's a great one, which the conference chairman has actually put together to tell us all about the expectations. We can only tell all our members and non-members of the institutes to go ahead and register for this lovely conference that we are all putting together. You can see my dress today shows that I'm together with my chairman, and we are all planning this conference together. Let's go there next week, Wednesday, all to Lagos Airport Hotel and join the 19th Western Zonal Accountant Conference, tagged ICAN 2025. Madam Mrs. Taibat Malomo, FCA, we want to thank you so much for your time on this show today. We also assure you that our members who have listened to you today will surely be part of the conference. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We appreciate you, ma'am.
Thank you
we are
very
ready
much.
to welcome them. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, you've heard it all. It's all about the conference. We are excited because, Tosi, when they talked about the plot of land, and they're also talking about getaway for couple, I hope it will apply to us too, right?
I hope so. I hope so too. I hope so too.
So,
Right.
yeah, accounting profession beyond numbers, innovate to elevate professional excellence. So, right now we want to go straight into the next part of the program, and we want to go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our special guest, our second special guest, should I say, Mr. Lawrence Amadi, FCA, the partner and head risk in KPMG Africa. We'll be right back after the break.
The City of London is calling accountants. Hearken! Join us for the 12th annual ICAN UK and District Society International Accountants Conference, taking place from 12th to the 15th of March 2025. This revolutionary conference of the year is themed Global Economy Reshaped, AI and Sustainability as Drivers. Register now to take advantage of early bird offers and secure front row seats at the prestigious Doubletree by Hilton London, Dockland Riverside. Conference sessions include powerful plenaries to advance your accountancy career, training sessions led by seasoned facilitators, networking and opportunity matching platforms, access to tools and resources, inductions and investitures, tours and an award-winning gala dinner. This conference is your gateway to staying ahead of the curve and ensuring machines and robots do not limit your functionalities and market value. Don't delay. Visit our conference webpage today. The Chief Host and District Chair, along with the 2025 conference organizing team and ICAN UK and District Society members, look forward to welcoming you.
It's no longer just about crunching numbers, but about driving business growth and creating value. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria presents our 19th Western Zonal Accountants Conference with the theme Accounting Profession Beyond Numbers, Innovate to Elevate Professional Excellence. This conference is set to hold from 5th to 8th of February 2025 at Lagos Airport Hotel Limited and Balmoral Convention Center, Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. For physical delegates, conference fee for members is 50,000 naira, for non-members 60,000 naira, and young accountants 30,000 naira. For virtual delegates, the fee for members is 30,000 naira, non-members 35,000 naira. The conference will feature a variety of seasoned speakers, keynote sessions, interesting side attractions, and many more. Please note that registration is strictly online, so to register, visit icanwesternzonalevent.org.ng. For more information, please contact the Zonal Chairman, Honorable Idowu Otetubi, FCA, 080-3353-7458. Conference Chairman, Mrs. Taibat Malomo, FCA, 081-820-77411. Conference Director, Mrs. Abioye Balogun, FCA, 081-222-43777. Conference Secretary, Mrs. Florence Akinshola, FCA, 0803-3044-574. And Conference Accountant, Mr. Olamide Balogun, FCA, 080-233-96162. Announcer, Mr. Olugbenga Sholarin, FCA, Conference Publicity Chairman for 19th Western Zonal Accountants Publicity Committee.
All right, you are welcome back to the second part as we welcome Mr. Lawrence Amadi as we discuss the impact of artificial intelligence on audit quality and efficiency. Lawrence, it's a pleasure having you on the show today.
It's an absolute pleasure to be back here. Good evening to you and Fumi, and very nice to be here connecting with you guys. You guys look like you're eating so much fresh food in Canada. Chilling maximally, but very good to be here.
I saw that coming. You're welcome. So good to
Thank
have
you.
you on the program. I mean, we see you on the tabloids, we see you everywhere making remarkable comments and making people know about IT and artificial intelligence. So we thought it was interesting for us to bring you here. That's a scholar, and we need to tap into your wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Quickly, Lawrence Amadi FCA is a partner within the advisory division of KPMG Lagos office with over 22 years technology consulting experience. He heads the Tech Risk Network for KPMG Africa and has actively delivered technology-related projects in over 16 countries within Africa and EMA region. If I'm to leave any part of this profile, I won't leave the fact that he is an ardent supporter of Chelsea FC, just like I do. A good one for you. You're welcome once again, Lawrence Amadi.
Thank you so much. And Tosin, you sounded like a Chelsea supporter yourself. So I think we
I
can
knew
say,
there had to be a reason why he was going to select that out of every other.
yeah, we can open up the session by saying blues for life. Thank you.
Oh, wow. And I'll say red.
Okay, so let's go straight. Fumi, our time is fast spent. Impact of artificial intelligence on audit quality and efficiency. I know people are already waiting. What exactly are we going to learn today on this topic? So let me open the floor. In the words of John McCarthy, a former computer science professor at Stanford University, and also one of the founders of the discipline of AI, he defined AI as the science of making machines do things that will require intelligence if done by humans. We are happy and glad, of course, to have you here in the studio today. My question is, while AI evolution is welcome with excitement in some quarters, it is feared in other quarters. Why do you think so?
Thank you so much. So why do I think so? Like with everything new in life, people are always uncertain about what the thing portends. So they don't know what it holds. And because there's a common saying that the unknown is to be feared. So that thing that you don't know, you actually can't tell what it is. So that's why people have that cold sentiment sometimes towards this concept. And like we say all the time, if you're walking into a room and you haven't been there before, you also don't know how to prepare your body. You know, it's like Tosin or Fumi entering a boardroom, and the boardroom is in Zenith Heights. Because you haven't been there before, you'll be thinking, is Mr. Jimovia going to be there? Is Ebenezer going to be there? Is Adese going to be there? How are they going to sit? How would they welcome me? That is just that same story. So with AI, which is a phenomenon that has to do with data and cloud technology, people haven't quite figured it out entirely. And that's why sometimes they have that cold feet. But I think as they get better exposed to it, they will become a lot more comfortable.
Okay, thank you for the assurance. Like some of us are not so comfortable with all these things around AI, but it's okay. It's the world that we are in now. So my other question is, can you give us a better understanding to the difference between this audit quality and audit efficiency, or do they actually mean the same thing?
No, they don't. And it's a very good question you ask. So when you talk about audit quality, quality is at the heart of ascertaining that you have gathered the right evidence, you have planned the audit in the most, optimal manner. You have also put the right resources on the audit, which is where experience comes from. And their process of performing that audit and the outcome. Remember, audit is not investigation and it's not forensic. The outcome of the audit is that the financials show a true and fair view. Now, when you do that audit on one client, on 10 clients, on 50 clients, your results and the output should be consistent. It is in that consistency of the planning, the delivery, your reporting. If you do that consistently, and ensuring that you have sufficient evidence to back up what you are eventually telling the audit committee, telling the board, telling the AGM. That is you displaying audit quality. However, audit efficiency has a bigger bearing on how quickly and how smoothly have we done this audit. Remember, if you deliver an audit for a bank and the audit year end is 31 December, you perform all the things I talked about earlier about experience, planning, delivery, and you do those with the right evidence, you can actually say we have delivered a quality audit. However, if year end is 31 December and filing with FRC is 31 March and CBN, filing with CBN maybe is 30th of March, if you report on the 15th or 16th, despite doing all those things that I've mentioned, if you report too late, you have not carried out an efficient audit. Because an efficient audit is an audit that you do with quality, but must be done in time.
Great. I think that differentiation we actually got it. That's a good one. Well done. Now, my question is, with the advent of AI, what kind of technological disruption or revolution should the world brace up for?
So what should the world brace up for? Tosin, I mean, I think about it and I say to myself, what were we doing before? And what are the things that have come out? If you go to all the big four today, they've all created one solution or the other. We have one we call AuditBot, and it's the word audit and bot together. It's just KPMG AuditBot. What does that bot do? The bot takes different activities you perform and it looks at the ones that are routine-like in nature that has data. Because the minute there's data and there's routine, you can automate it. So it takes all those things that have data and routine, automates them so that they happen very quickly. For instance, evidence gathering. This bot can learn the things you do on different types of sector audits and pull the information together. If you're doing an audit of maybe a consumer market, it knows that you are picking an ERP sort of requirement. If you're doing an audit of financial institution and it's a bank, it knows that you are picking the requirements for core banking and the peripheral banking services, and you train that data to be able to efficiently make requests. You have bots that can put information requirements together and also send an email automatically to your client, as long as you've programmed what they need to do. In evidence gathering, you have bots that can easily pull tons of third-party confirmations. They can analyze confirmations from different entities. They can label them. They can reference it. They can pick out numbers from those evidences. You have bots that can easily also help you with scanning through management accounts and bringing out anomalies in the process they followed, e.g., journal process. You can define that automation to check were there journals that posted on weekends? Were there journals that posted on public holidays? Were there journals that were posted by persons who don't have the privilege to post those journals? Were there journals that were posted without maker checker? In other words, those journals are on the system, but you can't see the imputer, but you can see that there's a confirmer on the system. All of these things and many more examples are the things that, the bots are doing. Now, these are things that in the past, people did them manually, reviewing the system and trying to check them manually. But now you can program these files to check for these things. And Tosin, to wrap up on this question, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, UiPath, Google Automate. These are all tools available, and some of them you even have free trial versions that you can try out. Just get your hands dirty on it. I know for me, by the time you do this, you'll be a lot more comfortable playing with this information. Yeah, but that is to respond to that question, Tosin.
Thank you so much. And I see a lot of our audience, they're saying hello. I see Petirani Ezugo. I see Edesiri Yota. I also see Kemi Akinloye. Everyone is saying good evening and they're welcoming you to the program. I see a lot of people from Abuja, from Lagos, from Enugu, from Imo State. Thank you so much for being a part of ICAN On Air today. And today we're still with our, should I say delectable, very, very IT savvy, Mr. Lawrence Amadi, FCA, the partner with risk, and he's done a lot in IT. And we have brought him here. He's the partner with KPMG, and we're excited to have him. So my other question for you, because I still want to delve into something that our great man, the Bill Gates, how Bill Gates has mentioned that in his words, I would say, he said, I don't think IA's impact will be as dramatic as the Industrial Revolution, but it certainly will be, it will be as big as the introduction of the PC, which is what he has created. He said, what could be, what is it that we think that Bill Gates is referring to with respect to the quality and also efficiency of the services that we're going to have from audits?
Okay, I mean, really good question for me. And I'll just say, when you think about efficiency used in the parlance for audit, 3 or 4 things come to mind. One, there's a process or process cost reduction or process efficiency. There is the people efficiency component. There is the system efficiency component. And, the fourth one could be the operating performance efficiency. And when you look at these points, they all achieve different things. And audits shouldn't be too costly. Because if you do an audit, you're auditing a consumer markets entity. One audit firm brings about 6 people, and they layer it to say, look, we have an analyst, an experienced analyst, an associate, a senior associate, a manager, and a partner. And then on another player brings 10 people or 12 people, and then he has lots of hands. If they do those audits and they finish about the same time, one person has made a loss on that audit, because it means if one audit firm, maybe they leverage technology and the people to deliver that audit in 10 weeks, and another put 10 people plus all the resources and they deliver it also in 10 weeks, then there's something that has gone amiss somewhere, because it is in the optimally planning the things you do at the beginning. And how do you start an audit? There's a risk assessment that happens after you understand your client. So when you do a client business understanding, you do something you call what could go wrong analysis. That what could go wrong analysis is where the risk assessment is taking place. If you do that properly and carefully, and you can identify the things that are risks that can impact the financial reporting, you can identify the things that are risks, which may be a risk leading you to misrepresenting or misreporting on the audit, then you should design the audit approach to be such that you can address all those risk points. So if there is revenue, cost of sales, inventory, wherever the problems lie in that company, you put the resource and the technology behind those, optimize the testing so that the outcome and what you are getting will be giving you a material comfort that nothing has been misstated in that area. And that is when you start getting that. So again, this is the steps you are taking to ensuring you achieve quality. And also, if you do this and you drive this smoothly in time, you would also achieve efficiency.
You will also achieve efficiency. That's a word of encouragement, I would say. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Still on that part, a concerned accounting stakeholder was being quoted saying, unless professional accountants embrace technology, they will follow the dinosaur into extinction, either individually or as professionals. Do you share similar concerns? If yes, why? And if no, why?
To respond to that question, there was a time I had an aunt, she was a secretary in a company, and every evening she makes me come to read some letters to her, and she writes them in shorthand. And when she writes these things, I can't read the things she's written. But it was such a skill that I couldn't understand it. It was completely beating my imagination, completely. Now, I ask myself, this was maybe in 1995, right?
When there was no AI.
and we're in 2025. So the question I ask myself is, how many companies, how many secretaries are writing shorthand today? And if you don't have secretaries writing in shorthand, and there are no secretaries using typewriter, it means anybody who is working, and today they don't call them secretaries anymore. They are executive assistants,
Exactly.
or technical assistants. If there are no secretaries anymore, what happened to the secretary job and the designation? And if nobody is advertising the role of secretary to the MD, what happened? So, to all our viewers, it means time moved. And because time has moved, everybody is carrying a laptop. I know Fumi has a fancy laptop with her children or her wallpaper, and Tosin, you probably have a HP or Dell, Every single person that has a laptop has access to the world, because with connectivity, you can get on DeepSeek, you can get on OpenAI, you can get on any platform, you can probe it, you can query it, you can get limitless information. That is where the world is. So for accountants and all of my professional colleagues, I guess it is actually call to duty. You then have to embrace this new reality because times have changed. We cannot carry on doing things the way we did them before. So if you do have the opportunity to leverage this technology on your audits, on your processes, on your internal back office duties, leverage it so that tomorrow you and I are the ones that will still be calling that shot, and not Gen Zs collecting your meal ticket. We don't want that to happen. So Tosin, I won't say they go with dinosaurs, but they have to embrace this, mandatorily to be relevant for tomorrow.
In fact, while you were talking, right, a question came in from the audience from Shokumbi Babatunde, and it says accountants are scared that AI is taking their job in the nearest future. Will AI reports give adverse opinion or favorable opinion on audit quality and efficiency without the interference of human effort on the financial statements? I just wanted that comfort from you too.
Yes. Yes. So thank you so much, Shokumbi Babatunde, for that question. Let me put it this way. Even though AI will come with a lot of disruption in terms of how we get things done, we will not rule out the parts where humans and judgments will be needed for the final delivery of the thing that we are doing. So remember that it is in the how the biggest disruption takes place. But in the final, you know what you call last mile. And last mile is auditor to AGM, auditor to risk and audit committee. You know, in that last mile, there's a lot of judgment required, because when you're having those meetings with leadership or with the board, they tend to ask you some questions. And in your response, you will say, well, look, if you can address this expected credit loss model and address this other issue and address revenue, and, you know, maybe things might be back on track. Those things are things that you might need human for. But in getting the thing done and getting it done really quickly, AI would replace a lot of the human activities. And I give another example. If you go to the banks today, every bank, they leverage Postilion to manage the communication between their core banking and their ATMs. And then there's also another Postilion managing communication between core banking and POSs. In the past, they used to have an army of people that would sit down and do reconciliations on us transactions, not on us transactions, failed transactions, dispense errors, and the likes. Today, those banks have built simple bots that do all those reconciliations in a short window. So what we used to need 40, 50 people and the branch operations people doing all of these checks, they've changed. No more. So now what happens is that with automation, you now have an instance where UiPath runs a routine very quickly, gives you the results, and all you're doing is 2 or 3 people that are looking at the exceptions. So basically, you're just doing exceptions reporting. All those 50, 60 people, they are doing something else today. They can't carry on. They cannot, you know, because the bank is put automation behind the thing. Those guys won't be needed. Have those guys' jobs be disrupted? Absolutely, yes. Now, those guys, if they have picked up other skills, they will apply those skills in other parts of the bank. But if they don't try and hurry and pick up new skills, the bank is going to say, look, guys, so long. And that is the reality today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. The reality is about today, we have known and we are actually seeing it as it's done on our faces. Okay, let me go to another area, still on the AI impact on audit quality and efficiency. The late Stephen Hawking, an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author, said, and I quote, "It will either be the best thing that's ever happened to us, or it will be the worst thing." Based on Stephen Hawking's warning, Lawrence, what can you say are the foreseeable dangers or limitations of AI, especially in the field of auditing?
All right. So I guess the first one, most glaring one, is the lack of judgment that you probably might need, and the risk that we may have, detection risk that it doesn't pick up because it's just running by itself with, you know, a set of instructions or codes to do something. The second one is you could have some misleading opinions that come out of the exercise. Again, because other factors that are not built into the entire AI process haven't been considered. So if you rely entirely on just AI, you could run into major issues. There are the ethics of AI, which can also be a concern, where you necessarily do not have to automate everything just yet. You don't have to automate everything just yet. As much as you can, with enough tested and trusted data, you can. But the real concern we have today is with that of data quality in this part of the world. We are still an emerging economy, and audit in itself is an age-long profession that has been there. So if you don't get data quality right, you easily can have a misled opinion in your conclusions. And that is actually very dangerous. Dangerous for shareholders, dangerous for the stock market, dangerous for share prices, for so many things. So that's the danger right there. Are there other limitations? Well, maybe yes. The world hasn't quite trained up enough people to live alongside the machines. Because if you call AI, a machine, and I'm sure some of us may know what machine learning means, basically it is us having computers understand and learn, certain things, certain behaviors. If you go on OpenAI or you go on ChatGPT or, Deepak, and you go type maybe Dirty December, it should bring out a number of things. It might bring out Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, just bringing out things that are synonymous to Nigerian having Dirty December. And that is just the intel is being fed with. I once said that, look, if you type in Dirty December, somebody said it's going to bring out Oble. And I'm like, okay, fair point. But again, it's how the machine is learned over time that when Nigerians are typing or hashtagging Dirty December, they're hashtagging people that are partying, or having a good time. So it's the same thing. There's machine learning for this AI, and it has understudied what people have captured over time. So if people introduce incorrect data or incorrect tags, you can reach conclusions that are also incorrect, because the machine is learning both the correct things and the incorrect things. Okay, so that risk and that limitation also resides there.
Thank you. When you were talking, I just recall that when I'm used to doing a group call on WhatsApp, for example, and then I'm trying to call, perhaps I'm calling you, and the person I called with you yesterday was Tosin. When I dial you and I try to add someone, Tosin's name just pops up. So that's just the way AI works. Oh, it's very, very interesting that our world, we're being captured by these things called AI. But I know we are running out of time, but I just perhaps need to ask this question, because I see a lot of corporate fraud still going on in different organizations, and despite the positive impacts that AI has been expected to do, especially on audit quality and also on efficiency, what do you think is going on? And when I asked that last question, right, I just want to, because there wasn't a closeout on that. When a particular audience said, are they taking over our jobs? At the same time, accountants, we need to be sure that there's an additional skill that we need to learn. You can let us know what those skills should be, so that won't be as fast as what the AI is doing to everybody now. But yeah, you can just run us through those. Thank you.
Thank you so much for me. I'll start with the skills that we need to pick up. One might just be some basic cybersecurity fundamentals. We can all start saying to ourselves, we can learn to be cybersecurity from we may not become specialists, but at least from a governance standpoint, we understand what it means, and from an operational standpoint, we understand what some basic things mean. In your organization, if you're not doing the red team, blue team strategy, you have to think about it. What does it mean? You actually intentionally bring guys who attack the network, and then you also bring guys who try to defend the network, just to see how you can protect your network from bad guys. Now, to the question on corporate frauds, there are smarter WizKids today because of the advancements in technology, and those guys are all just, again, constantly trying to be one step ahead of what everybody who is adopting technology is doing. So as you deploy new technology, you have to bear in mind that people are going to keep looking for ways to bypass the controls that you're putting in place. Banks connect with InterSwitch, they connect with eTransact, they connect with NIBS. If somebody somewhere goes to where a list you have somewhere and you've blacklisted some IPs, and it's because those IPs, they are either not trusted IPs or they are owned by people who you don't know their identity. If someone within goes onto that platform to go and whitelist an IP that you blacklisted, that process alone introduces a major breach, because whitelisting it means it is good to go to exchange data or information. And as soon as you whitelist, you're going to have information compromised, data compromised, and immediately you can also have major frauds. And that's why when you look at our fintechs, you look at the switching players, you look at the banks, the fraud rate is increasing. And it's increasing because sometimes you hire someone, you haven't done enough KYC on them. Meanwhile, somebody somewhere placed that person in your organization just so that the person can create a compromise in your system. And that is happening today. And it is leading to more fraud, and people don't know. So as you do your KYC on employees, you have to be really, really careful, to protect the organization. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Now, let's quickly take some questions from the audience. Because of our time, we appreciate and implore you that the responses can just be a bit swift so that we can cover as much as possible. Adebayo Lawal is asking, how do we specifically differentiate what audit ERPs do and artificial intelligence? He's trying to say, is there any difference between audit ERPs and AI?
Correct. So there is a difference. So ERPs, are enterprise resource planning systems or solutions. And ERPs, they have lots of modules, right? So there is FI for financial reporting, there's materials management, MM, there's SCM, supply chain. And what ERPs do essentially is it brings everybody in different departments into one place, so that when they do everything that they are processing in their respective units, it is easy for the finance guy to generate his GL summary and generate a trial balance and do financial reporting. That is why it's enterprise resource planning, puts it in one place. Whereas AI is this phenomenon that we are talking about. And it is an artificial intelligence conversation where you are looking at machines learning, and you're looking at systems having autonomy to be able to do some things to the extent that they have been trained. And, and you're looking at people being able to work with these intelligence systems. Just to summarize the answer, I know time is fast spent, but that is my distinguishing those two.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fagbola Temitope Adeni is kindly assist us in listing some of the AI-enabled model that aids the optimization of audit and investigation function.
Okay, so this one is a very direct ask from Fagbola, and I think Fagbola, I'm going to redirect you. So I would say go to Accounting GPT. That's one. And then go to DeepSeek. And then, so go to Accounting GPT. I'm putting it in the chats.
Okay.
And DeepSeek. So go to these 2 pages. So look up Accounting GPT. You can sign in with your email address. And also if you go to DeepSeek and just put this inquiry there, you're going to get a lot of suggestions.
Thank you very much. And for me.
Yes, I mean, I've enjoyed the program so much that I see some questions from audience, but Tosi, I don't think we can take more questions from audience, or what do you think? Because I particularly still have a question for him around, some other things around the rampaging technology disruption and how we can still fit in properly, and about the work ethic.
Yeah.
So if I talk about the work ethics and the data privacy that the person has requested for, what are the likely ethical issues that can come up in adopting or in the adoption and integration that you have mentioned? But I know that we don't have time. Please, just 1 minute will be.
1 minute. Okay. I can say that very quickly. In the world that we live in today, you have lots of resources out there available for us to use. But the guys who are also creating those things or those resources, they need something in return. And what do they need in return? Your email address or your mobile number or your digital footprint. So that's why when they ask you to sign up, if you go to any of the GPT or, it will ask you to sign in. You sign in with an email address. You also, if you don't want to sign in with your email, you can go click a recognized Gmail to sign in. And as such, your credentials are provided so that some other organizations can do direct marketing to you, tailored marketing. And that's why sometimes you might be on your phone because you have set some things that has to do with tailor, welder, whatever it is. You start getting suggestions in your Instagram or TikTok giving you suggestions. That's because someone is also picked some data. So there's always that data component. It's almost inevitable because if you don't share, you can't access. So you got to give something to access even something. So that is a reality today.
Excellent. Tosi, yes, let's close.
Thank you very much. Because of our time, as we go home in today's discourse, Lawrence, I want to ask you this one personally. Are you satisfied with the level of awareness and penetration level of technology deployment to solve accounting and audit problems in Nigeria today? Are you?
So Tosi, the simple answer will be no. There's a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And I think with all of us on this call and everybody that has also joined this channel and everybody else who probably might see this link later, I think all of us are just required to rally and to continue to invest some time to keep, just enhancing the body of knowledge. Because if we all do, we will get the body of knowledge higher. And I think we will put Nigeria where Nigeria belongs.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We've had an awesome time in the studio today, and we particularly just want to say thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence Amadi, FCA, for giving us this opportunity to learn freely from you. Yes, thank you so much for all you do for the Institute, and we truly appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. You have a lovely evening, and greetings to all our viewers and our listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so okay, go ahead, shoot.
All right, Tosi, it's been an amazing time with Mrs. Malomo and also Mr. Lawrence in the studio. Right now, we want to announce some of the events that the Institute has for you. The registration for May 2025 professional exam is now open. Register today. And the 24th fellowship conferment ceremony will be taking place at Wilmot Point Road off Amado Bello, Victoria Island, and the date is 26th of April 2025, and it's 11 a.m. So also we have the early bird fee at 175,000, which will be open till February 15, 2025, after which the fee goes back to 200,000 naira effective from February 16, 2025. Remember to tell your district members to register on time and be one of the early birds. So the ICAN MPD accreditation fee increased. So you have the privilege of having an increase from 75,000 to 300,000 naira. Ensure timely payment to avoid any disruption. Also, Tosin, do you have more announcements? Because I see that we have a lot of announcements here, including the African Congress of Accountants, where we prepare to be in Kigali from May 6 to 9, 2025. Tosin, are you ready for Kigali, Rwanda?
Sure, I'm ready.
All right. So it's been an amazing time right here on ICAN On Air from Tosi and I. Next, we're going to be meeting you in 2 weeks' time. But next week is the conference, the 19th conference. That's the Western Zonal Conference. And we'll be there to be part of the program. Please do not miss it because of the MCPD and all the other benefits that you derive from the technical sessions that will come up at the conference. From me, Fumi Olani, I say thank you so much and have yourself a great evening. Antose.
Thank you very much. It's a lovely one today. And without you, we would not be here. We say thank you very much. Till we come your way next 2 weeks. Stay safe and stay sound. I'm Tosin Akinwumi FCA saying thank you and have a wonderful night rest.